Hi everyone, I wanted to jump on here. I'm Wendy from the Indigo Doors. I'm a channel and a oracle where I create a painting each year to hold what to expect the entire year, right? And this year, 2025, I just wanted to kind of recap kind of what happened and the correlations in the painting, which I think are really cool. So, but my painting kind of gives it a little bit of different standpoint or different perspective. So to me, 2025 was all about definitely the year of the snake. So it was about shedding, right? Letting go of things. And it was kind of pretty turbulent this year, like really kind of diving deep and moving into our shadow. We've all been confronted with parts of ourselves that need to be integrated or healed or loved or whatever the language you want to put around it. But besides that, part of that process is discovering our joy. And that's this panda here. But that storm, that turbulence, you can kind of see it here in the background of this painting. Like there's a storm a brewing, there's something happening here. And in that storm, we're recognizing, as you can see in this landscape, that parts of us that have been like neglected for a long time, like barren, so there's these parts of us that we're just awakening up to say, hey, yeah, where is the love, or why doesn't this align with me anymore? And a lot of us have been kind of processing this kind of shift since before COVID. A lot of people have been spiritually awakening around COVID, 2018, 2019, if not before that, right? So it's about finding our joy, but to discover our joy, we kind of have to understand where we have been people pleasing, or where we're not really fulfilled. And so those parts are kind of coming to the surface, and that's what's been happening all year. And they're kind of showing us that there's a path to this process, but there's this other path. So you can kind of see this path behind the tree, but there's other path in front of us that's outside of the norm, and it's this rainbow path. And that has a few meanings, meaning it's different. It's definitely outside of the box of what conformity is. It's not conformity. It's like our authentic selves, or higher selves, are really kind of coming through saying, hey, follow this path. And if you have been one of the few that have been following your authentic path and really diving deep into your intuition and trusting what's arising, that has led you into this kind of rabbit hole. And this rabbit hole, which is the whole main focal point of this painting, is this filled with light language, filled with magic, but also the unknown. So this beautiful space of not even knowing what to expect, because that is where what we're moving into. Is we can no longer plan, we can no longer create these to-do lists. We're meant to show up and really cultivate this practice of presence in the now. And in the now, we're shown the first step, the second step, the third step, but only when we need to. So it's really cultivating the self-mastery. That's what this whole year's been about. Shedding old identities, stepping into new ones. There has been like this timeline shift, and that's what this rip was. We never really knew what that rip was, and sometimes I don't know what I'm painting, but it's been fascinating. I knew that it was a rip through reality, and it ended up being that timeline shift. Like we're like in October, November, we were really being shown that no, we're about to jump some timelines. There's other paths here that we can choose and kind of jump quickly. And those are always offered to you right now in this next couple of years, if you choose to kind of go down into that, if you know what I mean. But I want to talk about your intuitive gifts expanding as you're kind of meeting up with your shadow. The pandas by this tree, which is all about your own authentic wisdom and knowing. But there's a couple things. This glass black sphere that's floating up in the sky. Okay, so it's called the Three-Eye Atlas. It's like some people think that it's a spaceship, some believe that it's a comet, but that orb represents basically our increased awareness of other sentient beings that are kind of probing or getting close to our atmosphere, our reality, whatever. And so I thought that was really fascinating. And the other piece that was fascinating to me that I didn't know this year, as it was coming through, is this rainbow that is kind of showing the path. we were shown or told that, light is changing and sound is changing, partly because consciousness in water is changing itself, but it's the presence of this rainbow is associated with the sentient beings from the Andromeda galaxy. And it wasn't until November when I had the message from this painting, Grounding in Light, that my guides were like, follow the rainbow, follow the rainbow, follow the rainbow, which I find somewhat so calming and feels just really good. And that message came to me, and here we have a rainbow path. So it was like, follow the rainbow. And as you follow the rainbow, it's the quiet voice within you. And as you follow the rainbow, you move into this completely other paradigm. It's like the Alice in Wonderland, or Look Through the Looking Glass. It's like, no, when you really understand what I'm saying, which is mastering the self and going within and really trusting what you're feeling and seeing and hearing, and you follow that changes everything. And that's what 2025 has been about, is about moving you into position for that. And we get better at it every day. And we're practicing. It's not about perfection. It isn't. It's about really getting comfortable with the messiness. And that's what these mushrooms are. These mushrooms are about taking death, basically, all the death that has happened this year, and turning them into something that's functional. It's like recycling, right? And that's what the mushrooms are. It's about transforming our darkness into light. It's about, in death is life. And it's this never-ending cycle of life and death and life and death. So this year has been beautiful and challenging and all of these things. I just wanted to kind of do a little recap of the painting, because I never know really. I just wanted to give a recap of the painting. It's really cool to me to see the painting after the year has happened, to really kind of correlate everything that had happened to the painting. So I hope you enjoy, and I can't wait to share 2026's painting with you, so stay tuned.